Welcome into another episode of the Delco Duo. I'm one half of the Delco Duo, Monica Cryan.
And I'm Jenna Meisner. Thanks so much for spending a little bit of your weekend with us. Hope you're having a good one.
Can't believe it is already December.
It is wild.
Wow.
I mean, November for me, I don't know for you at home, Monica, it just felt like it went so fast.
And I say that every year, just when we start to get in the holidays, everything goes racing by. And I always forget, you've got holidays, but at the end of the holidays comes a whole new year. Like you're kind of getting into Christmas, but also thinking about what was 2023 for me? I think that everybody starts to think about that.
That normally hits me like the week after. So Christmas, the week between Christmas and New Year's Eve. That's when I start to reminisce on 2023 or the past year. But you're right. I mean, we are closing in on 2024 as well. But first, we have to debrief because there's a lot going on in December.
Yes, there is. So I know I'm already in the holiday spirit.
You've been in the holiday spirit for weeks. I mean, you were talking about your December schedule and all the things that your family has to do. I feel like months ago.
Right. So I have felt like within the last few years, I've become the planner for my family's holiday traditions.
And not just your immediate family. I mean, you're talking siblings, parents, you're talking...
Yes. Right. Like you said, siblings. I'm like, hey guys, this is what we're doing. Please let me know if you want tickets. So I sent out months ago the plan.
Literally months ago.
And Jenna was so weirded out by me. But
I was stressed out because, my baby's still little, so we're not doing all the things that you're doing, but just to think of all the different attractions that are available, it was stressing me.
Well, because nowadays, especially after COVID, a lot of these attractions have still do the timed kind of tickets. So I have to make sure, and they sell fast. So I have to make sure I'm getting these tickets that are a good time for my family. And then I have to make sure that my siblings, if they want to come, I got to get them tickets. Now, mind you, my credit card's like, please God, please someone help us. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just purchasing so much stuff right now.
But you go all over. But for our purposes of the Delco Duo, we put a list together of things within Delaware County if you're looking to get into the Christmas spirit. Some of the things that you can do. So here's what we came up with.
Okay. If you haven't been, the Brandywine Museum of Art is such a little gem. So fun.
Never been.
Right on the Brandywine River. And then on top of that, for the holidays, they have this train set up. Really, really fun.
So kids love trains.
Yes, they do. Holidays and trains, man. Yeah. And then you've got Rose Tree Park, obviously.
Of course, my fave.
And I love that it's free.
Yeah. I mean, and now they have the vendors and you can get alcohol there. So for the parents, I remember that is very nice now to have a beer or, something and look at the Christmas lights. So I will definitely be hitting that up.
Yes. And if you're looking to cut down your own trees, Lynn Villa, Arisafa Farms, Flight on Ice, Tired Hands. This is in
I like how you worded fun.
Fun.
It's just fun. That's all you need to know. It's fun.
I should have said ice and sips.
Ice skating and drinking.
If you're looking for performances, Shooting Stars Holiday Spectacular in Upper Darby.
So that's just a few of the things. Obviously, there's so much to do. Visit Delco has a full listing.
Please go visit that. So the ones that we put on this list are ones that we've been to, that we've experienced. So I put those as suggestions. So then I go on to visit Delco just to make sure I'm not leaving anything out. And there's no way I could cover everything.
And I think that's recent, which is so nice for the county. I mean, they have just come up with so many different things to do more than ever before. Yes. So again, visit Delco. They've got a full list if you're looking to get your holiday fill.
Yeah, and I know it sounds crazy, but it is always important for the holiday season. You don't want to all of a sudden just look back and be like, oh, we really didn't do as much as we wanted to. So, and that's why I was I love Rose Tree Park because it's free, but there's and it runs every week and weekend. But there's actually, and I didn't even realize this, on Visit Delco, they have a lot of holiday markets that pop up one day in December. So now I'm looking at all of that. I'm like, what else can I fit in to my already packed schedule?
I love the pop-up shops. You find some of the best gifts because it's not, a store that you go into all year long. It's just something that's special for the holiday season. And I find sometimes the best personalized gifts for people can be found at those. So happy December, happy shopping happy light seeing, all the things.
And putting up the decorations and tree.
And cutting down your Christmas tree, because apparently, Monica, we have a fake tree in my house. I will not be doing any cutting of the Christmas tree.
Boring.
Have you ever cut the tree? Or
yes, we used to do it all the time. And I can't... We might have
so when they give you the tools, like you don't show up with your
They don't expect you to have like this rickety
I don't know if you
saw.
like you have an axe or
no, they give you a saw.
See, that to me is just you're losing a finger.
Sometimes you're good. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times my dad got stuck in a really, really sticky situation.
The kids want to be involved. Like I'm sure Josephine, she's 4. Yeah. She's going to be like, I want to be a part of this. And it just seems dangerous to me.
And yeah, there's always a tree falling on somebody. But you know what? That's okay though. It happens.
It's all in the holiday spirit.
Brush it off your shoulders. It's fine.
Well, good luck. I'm sure we'll hear about that after you get the tree.
And through the next several weeks, we'll be doing some fun other holiday stuff for the Delco Duo. So make sure you stay tuned.
All right, let's get to our first issue of the night. This one actually going back to Thanksgiving. So if you don't want to read all that, you can just listen to us.
I love this story.
Andy from Ardmore. My wife and I went to a fancy Thanksgiving dinner. She ordered Wagyu steak that cost $100. After the dinner, we both needed our unfinished meals wrapped up to go. The next day, when we reached for the leftovers, we realized they forgot to pack up the other half of the Wagyu steak. Should we have gone back? It's too late.
But like, think about it. Right. It's too late the next day, maybe that night.
If you realized it that night, I wouldn't even go back. I might call, and I know the restaurant might think it's like a prank call or something, but I would provide receipts. I would make sure they knew that I was actually there, and you just kept half of my $100 steak.
Right, because like now you're talking, monetary value. That's $50, and then there's just something about really looking forward to it, and you're
that's
like,
the worst. That is the worst when you forget your leftovers completely. Like it's your own fault. You leave them on the table. But this to me, I don't know. Do you think it was intentional?
That's when you said that I was like,
nice
ooh.
Wagyu steak. Like, do you think they intentionally left this out of the leftovers?
That's so weird. What do you really think people in the back of the restaurant are like cutting up your steak and eating it? That's so weird.
I don't.
And gross.
Or maybe if the way you ate your steak, they could just cut off where you finished,
like
and
that little sliver.
Someone gets served that part of the Wagyu steak. I don't know. Wagyu is like. That's the nice stuff. So if someone's going to leave it behind, they might take advantage of that.
I had no idea. I thought I was fancy ordering filet mignons for like $40.
That's so like 2008, Monica.
So Wagyu steak is it, man?
I like filet. I'm still a filet person.
Right,
so.
But yeah, like the most expensive steaks I'm getting, I guess I would say the most expensive steaks I'm getting, $60. I'm not going over that.
No.
That's wild.
That's even a lot.
I know, isn't it?
That really stinks, Andy. I don't know what you should do. I think it's too little, too late, and it's your, you lost it.
It's kind of like when you go through like a McDonald's drive-through. Yeah, you wouldn't understand. So when people go to McDonald's, some people do.
Okay.
Missy eat carrots only. But after you get through the drive-through, you always open the bag to make sure your order's correct.
Yes.
Just because then you can go back around and say, hey, listen, you forgot a fry. Hey.
You got to check.
Yeah.
This will teach you to check, Andy. All right, coming up next, we have another issue that has to do with family names. So I think we both can relate to this. We'll talk about that coming up.
All right, welcome back to the Delco Duo, the first episode of this December. In December. Were you part of choir?
Absolutely not. And I don't think you should have been either. You were. We've talked about this on the Delco Duo before. So if you're a new viewer, Monica, what were you? Were you the soprano or the?
I was alto. Are you kidding me?
What's the alto? Low?
It's like low for a female.
Okay.
Low for a female voice, soprano's the high. They get to do all the fun stuff, and altos have to hold the harmony. And it's never as fun as your soprano friends.
Hopefully your local Christmas carolers are not Monica.
I love all those. I'm so excited. Joe's in a Christmas show for the first time this year. Yeah, she's been so young. She hasn't done any Christmas shows, so she's in a Christmas show. I'm already so excited.
Do you know what song she's singing?
No, I don't. I don't know.
Those are always such a big deal. I remember growing up in school when you're in the Christmas show, you rehearse. I mean, it is like a tight ship. Like you are just like. So
you did. You performed. You sang.
Yeah, with my class. I wasn't in a choir. It was like the grade school had a Christmas show and we all sang.
Oh, see, we had to get dressed up in the cummerbunds and the bow ties.
No.
We had dance moves too. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna.
I would pay a lot of money to see you in a cummerbund.
Yes, I will.
All right, next week on the Delco Duo.
Monica in a cummerbund.
That's exciting stuff. If that's not a tease, I don't know what is. All right, let's get to our next issue of the night. Ursula from Upper Darby.
Okay. I'm expecting in spring with the first baby of both me and my husband's side of the family.
Okay.
Oh, a little prince here. My sister-in-law cornered me at a family party about using the popular family name Henry because she really wants to use it. I found that really abrasive and rude.
Absolutely. Yes. So inappropriate. There's no other reasoning about, like, I can't even see the other side of how this would make sense.
It's an intimidation factor. Like, she does not want you to use that name, so she's going to corner you and say, are you going to use that? Because we were thinking about it. She just wants to put that out there and make you uncomfortable now.
The only way that I could see that this would be not okay is if the sister-in-law was also expecting and their due dates were really close.
Right.
Like they're like months apart. Or
right. I don't want to think about this if you're already going to use it.
Exactly. But you are not even expecting. You are just talking future of when I have a child. Maybe that's in a year. Maybe that's in 2 years. You don't even know when you're going to have a child, or, you know, you can plan, but you don't know when that will actually happen.
It's incredibly selfish to focus on the name of a child that's not born yet and to try and say, oh, well, we want that name. Let's talk about something. I'm so excited you're having a baby.
How do you feel?
Happy, healthy. How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Not, oh, let's talk names because I want to claim a name.
Names a lot of the time, like, I feel it's really common nowadays to sort of keep the name to yourself. I know that Tate and I did that, and we had names that we liked, but we didn't tell anybody, you know, the names we were thinking about. Right. So even to put the pressure on of like, oh, well, are you thinking about names? What are the names? Like, I just feel that you shouldn't ask people that anymore.
Absolutely not. And then on top of that, to like pressure someone to tell you. Like, oh, I know you haven't told even your mom. But tell me, because I want to know.
So you have family names.
Yes.
You used family names.
I mean, we only use family names.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because that's the thing about a family name is multiple people in the family will have that same name. I feel like sometimes I'm in like my big fat Greek wedding. You know, when he goes, oh, that's Nikki, that's John, and that's Nikki and John, John and Nikki. And it's just so funny because that's the point of a family name is it can be reused too.
And you're the first of your siblings to have children. Did your siblings ever give any sort of inkling that maybe they wanted to use a name that you picked?
No. Maybe Eugene's siblings did. Eugene's siblings, I think, were like at one point.
But they have kids.
They had kids way earlier than us. And they did, like his sister said, like, you know, if I was to have another, I'd want to use this name.
No. You had your chances. You had your chances.
You didn't use that name, and you already had your kids. So don't make me feel bad about using that name because I'm going to use that name.
And I mean, I'm over here, you know, preaching you can't claim a name, but it is interesting. So I'm the youngest of my family, and the middle name of Lee is a family name. So my dad was Douglas Lee. I'm Jenna Lee, and now my son is Cruz Lee. I knew that I always wanted to use Lee. My middle sister, who has 2 boys, before, you know, her youngest, she had said, you know, we really like that middle name Lee. And I said, absolutely not. I said, no, you can't.
That's what
I'm doing Lee in the future when I have a kid.
You don't think you can reuse names?
I don't think that you can't reuse them, but I think it's something special when it's, you know, like I felt like I shared that with my dad, and now I share that with my son.
Yeah, that's
so it's
nice.
it's like we're the line of Lees.
Okay.
You're not in the Lee line.
You have to be descendants of the Lee.
You're my blood sister, but you are not in the Lee line, okay?
And I hope, again, so we use the middle, speaking of Lee, we use the middle name Leander for my son, knowing that my brother probably will use that as like maybe a first name for his son.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, just using it middle name, not first. Hope you don't mind.
See, even the fact that you felt you had to do that, though, I guess.
Oh, I never said anything to him. I was like,
this is such an interesting topic. Please write in and tell us what you think about sharing a family name. If you should do it, if you shouldn't do it, and if you should claim a name before you're even expecting a baby.
But I think all in all, don't ever corner anyone and demand to know what name they're going to use.
Absolutely. All right. Coming up next, we are bringing one of our own issues to the table on the Delco Duo. One of us has a problem, and we're going to talk about it.
All right. Stick with us. And welcome back to the Delco Duo. Shopping season ahead of us. And I feel like me and you are in the same level of shopping right now. We're just buying gifts here and there.
Right.
We haven't finished.
I haven't kicked it into overdrive yet. Yeah.
When do you get into high gear?
Normally the week before Christmas. I have really good years and I have really bad years. Like some years I'm like, I did this, I'm done. This year for me, I think is just going to be a bad year just because I'm so crazy with the baby and just like adjusting still. So I think this year for me, I'm going to be a late shopper.
Which is so surprising because you're so on top of everything.
Yeah, not
but
this
shopping, you're like, what happens, happens. Yeah. I'm like, must get gifts now.
It's up to the gift gods.
No,
out of
not.
my hands.
It is not. All right, let's get to our next issue.
What's Monica crying about?
It's about shopping. This is a very exciting Christmas season for me. You know, kids are 4 and 2. Joe loves Santa. So, you know, Santa's got to really pull through. Yeah. And Amazon
I guess we should put a disclaimer. If your child is still awake at this hour watching the Delco Duo, please put them to bed because we are going to be talking about Santa. Thank you.
Yes, talking about Santa and all that he's going to be getting my kiddos. And we've got the entire Amazon catalog that has come out. And so we got to write up a list for Santa. You know, we got to write up a list for Santa.
The big guy has to know what's in this year, and especially from Jeff Bezos.
And I'm just not necessarily sure how to narrow this down because it literally says over 600 toys and gifts in this catalog. She circled 599.
What did you expect her to do, though? When you give a kid a catalog, I remember doing this as a kid. I'm sure you at home used to get like the Sears and Macy's, whatever, you know, the big catalogs were back in the day. You circled everything. I circled everything.
Like Sears, Toys R Us.
Oh, Toys R Us.
Bam, 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 bam.
Rest in peace, Toys R Us.
KB Toys. Oh my gosh, remember that? So, yeah, really hard.
Can you see? Hold it up. Show a page that's good.
This is what I love, though. She circled this. Tony's.
Those are really. I don't even know what a Tony is, but
it's
apparently
like a player, and you put a character on the top.
And then what happens?
And the character will tell a story or sing.
Okay.
But I, of course, mentioned that, and my mother-in-law was like, okay, that's on my list. No one else gets it.
And you're
making
great.
Claims.
Making claims. We're talking about claims on family names, claims on family gifts.
Yes. So, but it is really funny.
My one favorite page is when she circled, it was like a prop. Like it wasn't even a toy.
I put a marker down.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Let's see.
It was, so again, she's circling toys.
Oh, here it is.
And then Jenna and I were laughing so hard.
Okay, so I don't know if you can see this.
She circled
the ornament. Wait, which right?
Right there.
The ornament. That is a detail of the page. It's not even for sale on Amazon. It is not for sale. And Josephine circled the sparkly ornament, Monica.
She wants a pink sparkle ornament. And let me tell you.
You better find that ornament.
I'm going to find that ornament wherever it may be.
So what's the game plan? What is the game plan for parents out there? Your child has circled a lot of things.
Here's my game plan, because she circled one item from the page, but here Josephine circled each individual horse.
Specific.
And
okay.
I feel like that's very telling. She's like, I really like these horses, and I want this one, this one, this one. So I'm going to get her one of the horses. I'm not going to get her all of them, but.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. So with the Barbies here, she only circled Anna and Elsa from Frozen.
Right, and I just think she was.
Oh, she was very, very particular when it came to the Disney princesses.
So that's what I'm saying. So she circled multiple of the Disney princesses.
But she did circle all the villains. She did. She only circled a few of the princesses, but she circled all the villains.
This has been really eye-opening. Wait, that's weird.
Yeah, she circled.
Oh my God, she did. She only circled the villains, none of the princesses. What does that mean?
She did. She picked a few, but she Cruella and Ursula. Okay.
But what does that mean?
This is a window into your child's mind.
That's what I'm saying. This is such a window in my child's mind. If you know what it means, if you can interpret
child therapists out there, what does this mean?
My child really identifies with the villains.
I think that this is expected, though. I mean, as I'm flipping through this, she literally circled most of the pages, which can be expected. Her age, she still doesn't understand. Sort of like. Pick 5 things.
Yes.
Pick 5 things that you like versus 580 things that you think you might want. Do you think she now will remember things that she circled? Like, are you going to give this back to her? I want to give it back.
No, I'm not going to give it back.
She's going to remember.
It's just going to confuse me even more. I'm just going to get her villains, and I'm going to get her My Pony. And then one thing that she constantly is telling us when I, ask her what she wants, she does want a tablet.
A tablet.
So that's going to be her
good
big
for you for not giving her a tablet yet, because I know at that age it's like, please watch the tablet, please.
I give her my phone. Now, so I'm like, okay, you need to have your own tablet. So I think I'm going to get that for her. But then how many presents from Santa would you say need to be under the tree for a 4-year-old?
Well, it depends on how much mom and dad are contributing. That really has to balance Santa out.
Okay. So it depends.
Maybe one big present from Santa. One big night, I don't know.
Eugene was saying 10 from Santa and a few from us.
Oh, well, yeah, I think Santa should take precedence, but you got to balance it with mom and dad.
Okay. All right,
let's get to the trivia question. What did Wawa start as? Nothing to do with Christmas, nothing to do with shopping. Let's just take it to Wawa.
I always get Wawa gift cards for holidays, so all right, stick with us.
All right, and welcome back. Here is the question. What did Wawa start as?
This is so interesting because we're going way, way back. I think everybody has an idea as to what they think is an idea as to what Wawa started as. But interestingly enough, the company began in 1803 as an iron foundry in Jersey.
Right? What? That was my most shocking revelation, that it was in Jersey.
But then when it became a dairy farm is when George Wood moved it to Delco and made it into a Wawa dairy farm. Because that's what I had always thought is that's where you got your milk.
Well, so started as an iron foundry, moved to Delco, and then it got so successful because people were really looking for ways for it to have clean milk, essentially. Yes. I mean, we're talking really long, in 1890. So George Wood sort of got that process of delivering clean milk.
Could you imagine walking up to, excuse me, sir, do you know where I could find some clean milk? Well, there's Wawa in
Wawa
Delco
Dairy Farm. But that is so interesting. And shout out to Dave in our control room because he had found this fact actually.
That's really cool.
Sent it along. So thank you very much.
And an iron foundry, hold on, is...
Yeah, what? Can you expand on that?
An iron foundry, I'm sure it has to do with iron, but
I think that it does.
What is an iron foundry? Facilities that provide all services necessary to produce iron casting.
Okay. From iron to milk. It doesn't make sense, but then the Wood family went on to be...
iron in milk?
The Wood family went on to be one of the richest families of all time. I think I saw an old Forbes article. It was 2015 richest families. Mm-hmm. The Wood family was still on that list in 2015. So
okay. I
wonder how they're doing now. If you're a part of the Wood family.
I am certainly not a part of the Wood family.
I'm not as well.
My family was not here in 1890. We were still in Italy.
If you want to talk to us and you want to send us your issues or any comments, trivia even, we love to hear from you. Delco Duo at phl17.com or on social media.
Yeah, and if you have any comments to some of the topics we talked about, including seeing inside your child's mind via Amazon catalog, please email us. We'd love to hear from you.
Of course, we're on PHL17, YouTube, Spotify, all the places that you can find us.